There are no additions to the agenda noted, so we need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I so move.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson. Johnson.
Yeah.
Lovejoy.
Aye.
Murch.
Yes.
Olson.
Yep.
Steffes. Aye.
Right, we will skip ahead to acknowledging greatness and have someone that knows more about this introduce our group that's with us. Yeah, that's Amber.
Amber and. Oh, that's fine.
Thank you for giving us a couple of minutes this evening. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a program this we did in September. We're going to watch a 1-minute attendance that these guys created, and then I'll give you a chance to hear from them. So in September, way back in September, we invited an organization called the Film Dudes to Northern Cass, and we had some artist in residence grant funding to do that. And they come into schools all across the state and they show kids how to make films. Essentially, they get to do storyboarding and editing and filming and voiceovers and scripting and all kinds of cool things that we don't necessarily get to do regularly at the school. Part of that was an attendance initiative for the school. We've been focusing on how to get kids just more aware of the importance of attendance, especially in secondary where we see a little bit of a slip in attendance. And we really wanted to do that by allowing the learners themselves to create that product in a way that they thought would be, something their peers would interact with well. And so through 3 days, the learners got a chance to work in small groups to make 3 individual videos that they got to create from beginning to end. And then as a group with the Film Dudes who own their own professional production company, they worked with them to create this 1-minute attendance ad, essentially a commercial. And, you'll see it's a very professionally done thing, but the content, some of the editing, the voiceovers, and the idea itself really came from the learners. So it was really amazing to see all of this come together over 3 very hectic days, right? All right, so I'm going to be quiet. We're going to show you what that looks like. I'm also going to send you a link. They made a 10-minute making of documentary with behind the scenes, and you get to hear a little bit more from the kids. So I'll send that if you want to watch it. I should also note that they were on the news about a month ago or so. Kevin Wallivant from WDAY came out and interviewed the learners, and so they got a chance to go off their stuff on the local news.
I go to school to play with my friends at recess. I come to school because I want to be the first one in my family to graduate. I come to school because I dream of becoming a doctor. I come to school because I love to be part of a team.
I come to school because I can express myself through the arts.
I come to school because I'm learning the skills that will build my future.
I come to school because every day I learn something new.
I just take care of my mom.
I'm not anxious to face the
It's
day.
easier to
My family was moving again.
I'm not learning what I want to learn.
I'm too far behind on my schoolwork.
I don't feel safe.
Every absence tells a story, but every day at school writes a better one.
That is the amazing.
Wow.
I tear up every time you guys are probably sick of seeing this, right? I've seen it a million times. But do you want to start? Talk a little bit about the program?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was fun. It was really oh yeah, sorry. My name is Michaela. I'm in level 6. And I thought this was a really fun thing. I got to learn a lot more about accountability and like coming to school on time and stuff like that. And that's stuff that's really important. And I thought that was something really cool to learn, so we can like learn about making good habits of stuff like that. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Evelyn. I'm in level 6 and I learned how to create videos and put on some shots of videos, like shots of art.
I'm Ephra. I'm in 8th grade and I learned how to do like different shots of angles that you like do like Photoshop and yeah.
Hi, my name is Tate and I'm in level 6. This thing or the film dudes taught me how to like make videos, edit them, and like they said what shots to do. And yeah.
My name is Campbell. I'm in level 7. This program really helped me in the real world because the CEO of the fair originally asked me, do you want to make, he heard what I did and he was like, do you want to make a video for us? And so I ended up making a 3-minute long video about the fair last October, and it was posted on the Facebook page, and I was asked to do a few more, so it's really helping me in the real world. My name's Harper. I'm in level 6. I learned from the film dudes how to do different angles and how to use AI to help you make scripts and help you like learn how to make a video. So that was very fun.
Do you have any questions for anybody?
Good job.
Awesome. Good job, guys.
Tonight.
I was gonna say, do you find yourselves nowadays, we can fast forward through commercials all the time, we don't want to watch commercials, everything like that. Do you find yourselves maybe stopping and watching commercials a little more now because you know kind of what goes into it?
I mean, I do at least because I do know what goes into it, and it's really like the opening part that kind of like draws me in, and it's really cool to like think and be like, oh, they used a wide shot here, they used a close up here.
I kind of just watch the ones that are about movies because I find them kind of interesting because you get to see a sneak peek of the movie.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Good job, guys.
You have a nice job.
Thank
you.
Then I think we will skip ahead to the learner achievement. Mr. Marjoram.
Yes.
Can introduce.
The luminaries, come on up. I should just tell on one of them. I just had the pleasure of introducing them tonight, so. Right, good evening. So yeah, learner achievement one. So I was gonna have Mrs. Walter. No, I was gonna have Mrs. Walter here, but she couldn't make it tonight. So Mrs. Walter is currently the head of our luminary group. So what the luminaries are and what we wanted to highlight. So back in the 23-24 school year, when Mr. Krinky was still here learning our literacy grant coach, one of the things that he created, I'll say, was having a group of learners that are like focused on helping like writing assistance and technicality, and how can we utilize and leverage kids in our own building to help support others at lower levels. So you developed this program. We wrote course code as well too. So specifically the state adopted it, so they get specific course credit in regards to this. And so this is our 3rd year in operational. And so this year we have 6 luminaries. All right. And so I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves.
Okay, my name is Macy Murch and I'm a senior. I'm Emma Hovdenes, I'm a senior. I'm Sophia Starr and I'm also a senior.
And then we also have 3 more. Lauren Johnson is track tonight. Deegan, I think, has golf practice, and Damien is also at track right now. So these are 6. So what this group does is like, think of like peer tutors, but with really like an emphasis on writing. However, there is more. So I asked each of them to kind of talk a little bit briefly about like what this year is composed. What does a day look like in the life of a luminary, and how do you support learning at the younger levels?
So every other Monday and every Thursday for the first like 20 minutes of my class period, I go down to elementary and kindergarten, and the teachers selected kids that are kind of more advanced readers. And then we read a book that the teacher picks out, and it's part of like, it's something they all do. And then normally there's a packet or something. We try to do a page of the packet every day. Yeah, and then Damien also does that on Tuesdays and every other Monday.
So what my luminary looks like is I have one phase a day that I will sit and just people can schedule an appointment with me or do walk-ins. And I've gotten to help at elementary levels, middle school levels, and high school levels. And obviously it's cool to be able to teach people, but I think it's even cooler because like now I know these people and they'll get to like wave at me in the hallways. So it's cool to see the relationships that I've made along the way too.
I'm similar to Emma. I just have my one phase a day. But we also have the opportunity to sign up to help out on Wednesday mornings, where in the JAGDN, there's learners who are behind pace or might need a little extra help. So we can go in there and just be a resource for them if they need extra help. And I think it's been really cool to learn how to like actually teach someone how to understand something rather than just tell them what to do and how to get it done.
So like at the end of the year, can you talk a little bit like what did Mrs. Walter take you through like on some of the like the training that you guys received at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, they went over like this whole long thing that Mr. Krinky wrote up, and it's basically just saying that it's like not your responsibility, the outcome of their grade that they get. You're just there to guide them along the way, and you're not doing the assignment or project for them. You're just there as a resource.
No, I agree with that. Kind of what Macy said at the beginning. She made it very clear, like it is not on us to get 100 for this person. It's just for us to guide them. And I've had people complain because they didn't do good on something. And I'm like, that's not my fault.
Yeah, these six seniors is what they are. I think this is just a testament. I mean, they're all seniors, so you know I'll say they have time in their schedule, but it's also giving back, and it's also helping a greater cause as we are trying to like boost with our literacy piece and across the board. So you mentioned they're down in the elementary, down in kindergarten. We have our middle school that is traditionally writing heavy papers right now that guess they're requesting a lot of time coming into their learning centers and just helping out, working with small group kids as well. So I think it's a strong testament for them like to sign up, because it's not anybody can end, it's an application process. So you have to have a strong writing background, but you also have to be willing to have that skill set to work with people as well too. And I think, you know, these six embody this very, very well. And we're fortunate, I know when Mr. Krinky left, our educator said, like, whatever we do, we need to keep making sure like the luminaries stay. And Mrs. Walter, very gracious for her. She goes, I'm willing to do that, help oversee it, and wants to take over. So kind of keep going back. So you guys been an awesome bridge from this group, you know, from last year to this year. So we're just thankful for their work and what they're doing to help support literacy all throughout the building, and just being an excellent resource and an excellent example for younger learners. So very grateful. Do you guys have any questions?
How does the selection process go to who's going to be doing this, Doug?
Yeah, so like at our staff meeting, Mrs. Walter kind of said, first of all, it's like staff recommendation.
Okay.
You know, and you know, all of them have strong ELA backgrounds as well, though, too. But we'll open it up to anybody, and it's just the process of like, you know, are you able to be on time, be committed, you know, being able to willing to work with it. So yeah, we're starting right now for next year. You know, it kind of could be like an internship, but again, they get a different code. And Mrs. Walter is, she has a background and a degree in ELA as well too. So we're able to kind of match that up and give them a specific writing credit as well. So it's a little bit different from a traditional internship, but it's very similar along the lines of like what you're doing. But yeah, we're open that up as well too and make recommendations for next year. I think we have 3 applications so far. So we're trying to boost that up and get our numbers. So
Thank you.
Any thoughts about doing this in college? You know, you can get paid to do this.
Maybe. I have to see how I settle in. Yeah. If I'm good at what I do, maybe.
It's a good foundations. Again, we're just thankful to have them in here and the time that they give, because it's time out of their schedule. They could be doing scholarship applications as well too, but they're choosing to give back. So we're thankful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we will backtrack now to the consent agenda. Good.
Yep, so for our consent agenda, our general fund,
We have $415,569.80. Activity fund, $389,778.41. Hot lunch, $190,124.08. Our heating, electric, $13,578, of which electric was $4,166 and heating was $9,386. And then our investment interest is $886.
All right, is there any questions on the consent agenda? If not, we need a motion to approve. I'll move.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Schulberg.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lovejoy.
Aye.
Merch.
Yes.
Olson.
Aye.
Stefas. Aye.
Okay. Note that there is no one present to provide public comment. And then we'll move into administrative reports.
All right, back again here. Thank you very much. I know Mrs. S isn't here tonight, so there's some things that I'll kind of just won't speak on it, but there's some things that are mirroring going on. So secondary report for the month of April. This is like the busy season, just like tax season. You know, we got tons of things that are going on. You can first of all see our enrollment has been steady. We just added one learner in the high school, possibly have another one coming in the middle school here at the end of the month. So, but that's been stable around our enrollment piece. Our shout out pieces, so there's a couple right here. Want to just kind of first of all recognize our class of 2026 and their work on their capstone presentations. It gets better and better every year. For those of you that were able to come in and see, you know, several of you were here because of you had a learner as well too, but I know others have been in just throughout the years. But this continues, like it's an awesome day just to hear the learners get up and talk and reflect about their experiences at school. They did incredible work. And I also need to recognize kind of like our 4 educators who lead this process throughout the year. Mrs. Bush, Mrs. Tonic, Mrs. Sabernock, and Mrs. Head are kind of like our 4 that gather the seniors really the first couple of days of school and said, like, here's the process, here's the outline, here's our target dates, here's what you need to meet. They're giving them feedback along the way. So like when they get to those days in April, that final presentation, it's very well polished. So I got to give a lot of shout out to them as well too for guiding this through and then continuing to tweak the process. They give up a lot of time. They're chasing some of our seniors that don't like to sign up very quickly and then trying to find different ways to meet and rearranging their schedule. So a lot of work goes into that, but I think it's such a critical day and it's a reminder like last Monday, like why it's one of my favorite days in this building. So if you see that collective work and we have our elementary educators, they love it too. It's the whole process of just learning throughout K through 12 education. So it's a very proud day for us here at Northern Cass. But again, it's the seniors, they put in the work and it's just awesome to hear them reflect upon their learning. Another one I want to recognize here is this is our Northern Cass Governor's School candidates that were accepted this year. So we have 3 juniors. This is a big deal. They have to apply for Governor's School. What that is, it's a state-funded program hosted traditionally at NDSU, but UND now got on board with that as well too. But in areas of science, technology, engineering, they applied. It's basically 4 weeks during the month of June. They live on campus for 4 weeks. It's paid for. They get college credit as an early entry, just a view and a taste, and they get immersed in the world of college. And so kids across the whole state apply for it. There's limited spots. This year we had 3 that were selected to go. So Brady Walski, he's going to be going into career science. Jackson Sinclair will be going into engineering, and Wilbur Hudson will be going into technology. So again, all juniors in a very proud moment as they have to get educator recommendations and you know, I have to go ahead and do that big process, but super proud of that group. Also, learners in the High School Musical, a fantastic show by Mr. Young, Mrs. Sabernock, and Miss Thompson as well too. Still don't know how they managed that, but it's just phenomenal work. I also want to recognize just some of our teams that competed that might not be like on our traditional activity schedule, but just know that you know, they're putting in work as well too. Our math counts team, and their advisors, Mr. Tyson, Mrs. Whitner. Mrs. Whitner is out on maternity leave, but they bring a team out to Valley City to compete in the math competition. Mrs. Whitner brings, she has a math group that meets throughout the year. They travel and go to different math competitions, but they brought in Mr. Tice this year and to Valley City, and so they did extremely well. And it's a great opportunity to show the math skills, science Olympiad as well too, led by Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Myers. They also competed in Valley City just last week as well. And again, they had a middle school team and a high school team. High school team both qualified for their advance to the state, and the middle school they did well, but it was a great experience for those two. And again, just want to recognize the time that our educators are taking to do that, provide some experiences. And then of course, prom was last week as well too. Fantastic prom was probably one of my favorite ones. DJ was awesome. Kids, I don't think, had ever left the dance floor. It was good. And we had a great parent group as well too. So just grateful and want to recognize all those individuals who made some of these events and activities possible, and just the kids who support them. It was just truly wonderful. As far as what I'm working on, a couple kind of key things I just want to shout out on this. Since our last meeting this spring, we have two teams that kind of formed in the secondary or standards-based grading team, a group of educators that are meeting to bring forth recommendations on like some tweaks and adjustments on how we want to go about community our grading and their scoring system. So we've had 2 meetings so far. Our goal is to kind of come together with our staff and kind of do our share outs as far as what are those tweaks, those adjustments on how do we want to reform areas within our standards-based reporting. And then our collective commitment team, this was also an area that was identified to educators through our start process as far as areas of growth. Wanted to have educator collective commitments. What are the 7 items that we want as educators to move throughout? So our staff is working together towards that improvement and just giving more of a voice. So like those are 2 big things that have been coming on. Other items, we're in the middle of scheduling and trying to work through that. We got some people that are coming and going in and out. What are the courses that we're adding and trying to get those figured out and in. So we have some pretty much all ready to go. So we're going to start working on getting individual schedules here shortly, probably right after we wrap up state testing, which is this week. That's another one. Secondary's been state testing this week. Elementary will be the following week. So that has taken a lot of planning, a lot of time. But at the secondary level, we have level 6, 7, 8, and 10 that are all state testing in the areas of reading, writing, math, and science. So it's a lot going on, but it's been a good 2 days so far. So we've had good attendance for that, and so we're looking forward to that. Educators put a lot of work in getting kids ready and prep for that. Other areas that I just want to talk, evaluations process, those have been wrapped up through the spring. So all our educators have a formal eval on process, so that'll be concluded. And then just a few hiring and personal updates. Mrs. Ward, she did go on maternity leave a couple weeks ago. So Mr. Carter Gill is acting as Mrs. Ward's long-term sub. He's going to be in civics, which is level or freshman, and level 7 social studies. Mrs. Rensvold has been in place of Mrs. Whitner, who also has been on maternity leave. She's going to be here for about another 4 weeks, been doing a great job of working with kids as well. I want to give her a shout out. And just a couple of upcoming things that we're working on: securing a long-term sub for FACS for fall maternity leave. Also working on another long-term sub for middle school math for maternity leave in the fall. And then just started the process for working some other openings that we have going on right now for the fall.
You gotta put a new filter in that water system.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, it's been a lot, but we've had some great candidates, some good people to come in and kind of carry that. So certainly exciting time. And you got a couple of dates that are just got some upcoming things that are happening here shortly between April and May, but it's hard to believe, just talking with Mr. Basil, it's hard to believe that we are just like under 30 days of school and we're at graduation. Spring went by quick. So a lot of things that have been accomplished, still a lot of things to do in a short time, but those are just a few things that I've been kind of tackling with here the last month. Does anybody have any questions for me? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Been working on transportation schedules for spring sports, gym schedules. Now that get outside most of the time for practice, opened up some of the gyms a little bit. And then this week's been really busy with, moving around spring games and our fields aren't ready to play on yet, so we're having to move our kids along on the road a lot so far. Hopefully our fields will dry up here this week and we'll play some home games. We sent out our summer camp signups this week, so they're all out, they're signing up to come out to our youth camps. And then working out on the fields. I think our baseball field will be ready to play junior high on tomorrow. And give a shout out to Ross Lockhart, who was named the Region 2 Speech Coach of the Year. And Angelo Ross, we put a lot of time into speech and was really that program a lot. And Ross team gets in that commission. So, followers, if you have any questions, reach out to me.
Thanks, Race. Learner board report.
Okay. For April, I asked 3 different questions. Just kind of more on the emotional, mental side of it. I asked for the stress level of students. I had 11 responders, all high schoolers. Majority said that they were at a neutral 3. I had 2 say that they were at a 4, 2 said that they were at a 5, and then 1 just at a 2. I also asked what learning methods students said that they learn best from. Most of my responses were hands-on activities, just watching people demonstrate it, clear teacher explanations, and then just studying independently and practicing their assignments at home or on their own time. I also asked if learners were feeling heard by their teachers. It was kind of just a mix. Some said yes, others said no. And then some just said it depended on who they talked to, who they were going to, if they needed something. So yeah, just the mixed opinions there. And then additional comments at the end were, there was one about having a spring homecoming, so they could have their senior parade, and school lunch just not being as good as it was since COVID. But that's about all I have.
Yes.
So what I got, so easy school pay for the month was $44,230.70 compared to last month at $43,702.10. Off of this month, 240 transactions. Transportation, we are sitting at $28,614, and we'll just have a little bit more trickling in before the end of the year here. Some grant updates. Beth Head, congratulations to her. She applied for a $10,000 grant through Carnegie. And there's just a research study on how we're going about doing things here at Northern Cass. So that was a nice little grant to receive, and so we're looking forward to sharing our information with them. As you can see, I have had multiple Rural Cass special education meeting down in Wyndmere. Was a joint SEC with Rural Cass, and the big discussion there was just John Porter and whether both entities were going to bring him along again as being the director of both Rural Cass, and we will. The other one, the Cass County Career and Technical Education Center, this one was a more interesting one, and if some of you might have heard the conversation a little bit I was having when you walked in the contract, there's a $625,000 operational expenses, and if it goes over that, it could be divvied up amongst the partners. And we had Dr. Rod Flanagan, who is the president of North Dakota State College of Science there, and he was predicting that the overage will be, they're going to get to about $800,000 of operating expenses. And so glad Corey was there on this one, because we waited till Dr. Flanagan left, and then we had some discussion on not following this, contract a little bit and looking at all of their operational expenses, line item by line item, if that exceeds, because boy, would that be a blow to budgets if that's the case. Did have some conversation on whether we stay in it or not, the only holdback of if we were to get out of it is the health sciences classes that we offer, because that's offered through them. And they pay for part of JJ's salary, so,
What the savings would be.
and that's kind of, yeah. We gotta wait and see what happens with that overage piece, and I think this is his first year as president, or second year.
Maybe second.
Second year.
Second,
Yeah, so he has what I'm finding out, he has some different ideas about the, going on now, what the original contract was about. So, it's work in progress, and we won't be paying that. We'll have to do something else. Southeast Education Cooperative meeting, that was down in Widemere as well, and we just had, AI conversation, how to use it in school, legislation updates on North Dakota Science and impacts. And then the big one is the Infinite Campus piece, which we continue to work on. And then we have a meeting in Valley City on the 8th. And then we'll get to the committee stuff. I did meet with Mr. Iverson last week, and that is going fantastic, and he'll give another report on that. The PD stuff, I try to keep everybody up to date with my weekly update, so won't share any of that. And then you can see, be gone a little bit more than I thought I was going to. I started looking at the bus schedule with Nathan yesterday, and I went, oh goodness. So, out of the building for various things for the next week and a half. Tomorrow I will be in the building. Nexus Path interviews got rearranged, so. Any questions?
Thank you, Terry. All right, now I will turn it over to Mr. Tom Iverson. I think most of you have met him by now. He's our leadership coach that we arranged for Mr. Basic.
Some haven't yet, and we will. Here's a little briefing that I've included for today. This is very nostalgic. I used to be on the school board. I think I shared that with some of you. It was fun watching the kids come in and the reports today around the school. And so what I'd like to do is just walk you through kind of where we've been at in this process, right? So one of the first things we did was we tried to identify the mindsets and the capabilities of an exceptional superintendent for Northern Cass, or Central Cass, or Barnesville, or Rolla, right? Not Rolla doesn't have a school anymore, and what we came up with were these things: strategic clarity, decision discipline. And what I mean by that is superintendents make decisions with clear ownership, a clear process, so everybody in the school building understands why and communicates well. The third one was communication and coalition building. Fourth one was instructional leadership. Fifth one, governance skill, interacting with the school board, right? Adaptive leadership under pressure, capacity building, and keeping all those things tied to outcomes. And so those were the sort of the menu items, right, that we talked about that exceptional superintendents do. And what we did is we chose to, pick a few of these out to start the first 5 months here working on. And given the fact that he was new to the role, there was a lot to learn, and he's learning it. And so we picked out 3 things that we've been focusing on, and I've identified them there. But what I'd like to also do is the first thing I do when I coach people. Literally, I am blessed to be able to coach people from California to Maryland. Most of them are in our region, but wide variety of industries, wide variety of people. And the first thing I look for when I coach anybody is commitment. Okay. And so I wanted to know that Terry was committed to this school district and the children of the school district, the communities that are represented by in this school district. And immediately I knew that that was the case. So commitment was there. He's exceedingly proud of the school. He's proud of the team. He's very, very devoted to kids. You know, I've got to listen for that, right? That's vitally important in the process going through that. So the scope, he cleared that bar very, very well in my estimation. And it's vital that that occur, because if you're not committed and have that foundational commitment, no leadership development, no development going forward is going to make much difference. And so wanted to make sure that occurred, and clearly it has. So my role has been to help Terry grow as superintendent in the 3 areas that we started out with: clarity, decision-making, and alignment. And by clarity, what I mean are the priorities clear, expectations clear, direction, so people know what matters most. And he's been trying to do that and get aligned with the team that's here, and putting a lot of effort into that. And I think he's done a very good job relative to that. So what we do, the first, probably right after we get a commitment, I ask people to take an assessment. And it is a scientifically robust assessment. I know more about Terry than almost anybody besides his children and his wife. I am confident of, because this is a robust assessment. Identifies what we could expect behaviorally from him, what we would expect motivates him. How does he make decisions? Is he clear in his mind? Does he understand a system? And that's what this school district is a system. Very competent in understanding systems, right? And then the fourth science is really, how does he apply competencies that you would expect someone at his level to achieve? I'm able to assess through the coaching process all of those things. And he took the information in well, we debriefed on it. There was give and take on it a number of ways, but by and large, I think we both concluded. More importantly, I think he shared it with his spouse, and she agreed that that was Terry, right? So now we have a solid baseline and a real commitment. And so we've started to work off of that very well. And so the other thing that I would like to do is not just the assessment, not just our discussions, but I've visited with, I think, 5 of you. I've got to visit with 3 more, and we're going to visit again. And I visited with Paige a couple of times, and she's provided exceptional input and valuable input. And so we got a pretty good understanding of where we are and what people's concerns, positive attributes that they assign to Terry, and we move from there. So the next opportunity I think we would have is around what happens next. And so I would say and I'm not going to run through everything, but I think we've got a few areas that we could really begin to work on. And before I get there, I want you to know about his commitment, right? So he shows up. We do it every 2 weeks, 8 a.m, over at Beans. I think that's where we had coffee that day. That's where we've had. And shows up every other week, fully engaged, discussing, bringing good items. I share with him some opportunities to work on over the course of the next 2 weeks. We get together in 2 weeks. How did it go? What did it look like? And he's coming fully engaged and having conversations with us. He has a desire to continue to learn. And, 8 months into your superintendency, I feel like he is continuing to learn about it, but also really progressing at a stage where I'd be very comfortable if I was a board member, and I was a board member. I know it's a horribly hard decision to choose somebody, but I would say, well done, right? And so he's very, very committed. So what I would like to think about is where do we go from here a little bit? And I think it's going to be continuing to focus on the team. He's got a great bunch of people working for him, good administrators. What Terry's going to do is he's going to try to build capacity in the people that he has here, right? He's not a guy that's going to take all the glory. He's not going to want to make all the decisions. And sometimes that can be a bit disconcerting to people if all of a sudden, yep, that's your job. You make that decision. They may say, well, I haven't in the past, right? So he's going to do that in this process. That will continue to grow. I think the other opportunity that he has is to get out into the communities a little bit more. And that's a coaching thing, right? And the more capacity he can build in others, the more time he's going to have to do and visit each of your locations. So I think that will be something we will talk about going forward. And, you know, I'll be just asking each of you when we meet next, where else do we want to work with Terry on things? And that is when I ask the question, I'm expecting an answer. And you can be as direct as you need to be around this because all of us are invested in his success, which is really about the children's success as well. So I think from that vantage point, we've got a good schedule moving forward. Now, I do want to point out that the other thing that we did at the beginning is looked at mindsets of superintendents that would be in this area, Midwest, et cetera. And one of the things that was very interesting was they talked about mindset, right? How does a superintendent succeed in a school district like this? And so over time, and I've got it on the sheet, Terry knows that I'm going to be direct with him when I don't believe he's following through or accomplishing what he needs to do. But I also look at him and say, you had a superb superintendent the last 11 years. Terry's different than Corey. And that difference doesn't mean either one of them are better than the other one, but you're going to see a difference as a board. And I'm sure that's very evident to you. But here's what I wrote. Stewardship over status is what you're going to see. Terry sees his role as stewardship, right? Of a public trust. He represents several communities. He represents the children that are in the school. He represents the team. So stewardship of public trust, not personal authority. So you will not see Terry unless it's needed, exerting power for the sake of exerting power. And so that is something the assessment and my coaching has identified. And that mindset matters because this role of his sits at the intersection of families, of communities, school board, et cetera, right? And the community trust is very important. System thinking over event thinking. Okay, so longer term. This is not about shiny objects. It is about system development over the next few years. That's what Terry thinks about. That's different than some, right? Clarity over charisma. And so we all know people that are super charismatic. But in Terry's case, he's not defined by style. He's defined by getting the job done, working hard for the stakeholders of this school district. He's genuine, et cetera. capacity building over here. I did refer to this a few minutes ago. He's not gonna be in the spotlight. No, he won't jump out of the spotlight, you know, if it's demanded of him, but he's not gonna be chasing the spotlight. That's a pretty significant mindset that you would expect from him. And then learning agility over certainty. And so what I've noticed is he stays teachable. He's curious. And he does not confuse what is an awesome responsibility in Northern Cass, this school district. He doesn't confuse that with being infallible. And what I mean by that is, if there's things to bring up, bring them up. He will listen and will adjust accordingly. Hopefully, I'm encouraging him to have robust discussion with you as well as a board, because that's when the best decisions get made. Okay? So I've probably coached 320 people over the course of the last 20 years. And I am confident what you hired me to do and will get accomplished with Terry's dedication to the process and your continued involvement. That's it. That's my update.
Anybody have any questions?
Questions?
Let you off easy tonight.
Easy. That is easy. Well, and we'll touch base again, then you have my email, so feel free to reach out and visit.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's word out. I'm gonna wait for Terry, and you're gonna go into executive sessions at some point. Are you at that point now?
No,
Or
that'll be at the very
okay,
end.
so I can just sit here.
Yep.
Got it.
All right, we'll move into committee reports. Which committee would like to go first?
I'll go, buildings and grounds. Yeah, we reviewed all the funds where we're at, kind of the bus tracking, all the repairs and the money we're putting toward them. Some bus parking, I know we parked in Harwood, right? Things like that, what we're gonna do going forward, kind of keep the buses in the best shape possible. And then kind of some conditions of the bus, one being the ADA bus and our future going forward with that bus and that type of bus. We talked about putting some funds aside in this budget and next at 75,000 to give Nathan or whomever the ability to look for some used bus and possibly trading off some of the buses that we've deemed need to go down the road. So possible one of those was bus 7 that we discussed about. Also we talked about the roof shingling project. We've got 3 bids as of Friday, April 10th, and it's closed. We just got 3 bids. Correct. Okay. And the intercom system, we got 2 bids for those. Looking through those a little bit as well. Anything else you can think of? No? No, that's kind of the gist of it all. All right. Okay. Which committee would like to go next?
We do building or budget negotiation. So we met, we went over the budget, final tax payments are arriving, people are paying their property taxes, so that's coming in. Same thing, went over the building fund, like Todd talked about, what needs to be done, things like that. Activity fund update, wellness center has changed to the family engagement. That little change, or what is that, or I don't remember.
Just like a title change.
That's why.
Cause the Yas prize was in there and all of that money is done now.
Okay. Okay, so dual credits have been paid to all the tuitions through the current year. So we met with the teachers union. We meet with them 2 or 3 times a year, go over different things. So getting ready for negotiations for next year, which should be interesting. Let's put it that way. So it's good. It's good because I think it'll help us proceed with our process, and we'll all be on the same page. It'll be a lot easier than just coming coincided, so. So here again, brought up the special events thing, that got brought up, it's a work in progress. To be honest with you, we probably need to relook at this somehow, some way, and revamp this thing. It's going into any more details right at the moment, so. So we need to take a look at that the teachers or the negotiation unit brought that up too, so with us too, so we all kind of agreed that we'd take a look at that, so. Then basically talked about. Obviously, we're gonna have 3 new board members coming on, in July, so. Or 2, right, Mike? Well, Mike will be new still, but, so we'll have 3 new ones,
Well, I didn't get my foreman in time.
yeah, right in that.
I believe you'll either have to be right in. I haven't seen who the people are that anybody at all, but yeah.
Okay, so
But
either way, we will have 3 new board members. Comes to, right? I mean, for sure, yeah, so, we talked about that and how that should look and make sure that we get them kind of up to speed, and, I mean, cause that's almost good majority of our board, so. Different things like that, feedback, the board members request, different things like that, you guys can read that on the open notes that we have there, so, anything else like that, Chris?
That was really, we spent most of the time, I mean, after the budget review, we spent most of the time talking to the union when they came in, so.
So, Mr. Baser told me, so we're not gonna make a motion for the 75,000 for the bus, because it's not in the budget for this, we only got 10 left.
For these last 3 months.
For the last 3 months.
For the 20, yeah. Okay, so going forward
So,
July.
yeah, so we talked about it for this, but we're gonna move it.
And I guess I don't know, just talking about budget, and I don't know, I talked to Chris briefly about it. The one roofing guy said he could maybe do some finance for forwarding budgets, possibly 0% even, so we could spread it out if we decide to move forward.
That's all I got.
Yep. Teaching and learning.
So all of our, they've completed all the review of our policies. We have 36. In the last bunch that we reviewed, Terry and Paige both went over them. Fine tuned them, so we'll have to amend those. And that's pretty much all we've done is policy review, and that's done. So
pretty much all you've done. That's
pretty much all we've done.
Good job.
Well, no, it could have been worse.
I know, but still.
So.
All right, so the policies for review are listed on the agenda. Everybody's had time to review them and is comfortable doing so. We could have a motion to approve I believe this is the last batch.
Yeah.
We're done now.
For the go around.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
No second.
Any additional questions or discussion?
So do we need to keep going over these every year?
Every quarter they'll give us, the school board association will give us updates, and then we'll just review
those policies.
Yeah.
So it could be 2 or it could be.
Yeah, so now we're up to date with the descriptor codes, got the verbiage. The big piece was changing the educators back to teachers, learners back to students in the policies to make it legal. So it'll just be now a quarterly piece. Yeah.
And then it'll be like reviewed every 3 years, but it'll be like a cyclical, like we probably do like a section every month or every quarter. Hopefully no changes, but.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
No further discussion, then we would do roll call vote, please.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lovejoy.
Aye.
Merch.
Yes.
Olson. Steffes.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah, I know.
If that brings us to the end of the committee reports, then to new business. First item would be take action on the curriculum review committee for board policy GAC-BR. The members of the committee are attached. Mr. Baser, do you have any commentary?
No, it just, I'll just read the first point. It just said the board shall appoint an instructional / resource material review committee annually before the commencement of the school year. And so I put together the names that you saw on that are attached to the agenda as the curriculum review committee to review that one piece that we have to take a look at here in the next month and a half.
So one quick question, Terry.
Yeah.
Smitty's out for a little while, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna do it over Zoom because she wants to be part of it.
Great.
She already has all the material.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I just
we had that, no, thanks for pointing it out, but yeah, we had that discussion, so she definitely wanted to be part of it.
Okay. Perfect. So I get clarification, thanks.
Mhm.
All right, so we would need a motion to approve the presented members for the committee.
I so move.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lovejoy.
Aye.
Birch,
Yes.
Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
All right, the next item would be to review the bids we received for repairing the shingled roof. Is this, you'll have to refresh my memory, guys. Is it all the gabled roofs or just?
Just, I think it's the east one, isn't it?
The bid from OE was all of them.
All
I
of them?
measured all of them.
All of them?
I don't know about the other ones. I wasn't out here when they were here.
So the two pods for sure is what we're looking at.
Two pods, music, and anything that was shingle is what he measured out.
Okay.
So that bid is all of the shingled roof. Okay.
All right.
So we-
That-
A lot better.
Thanks for clarifying that, because I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad now, but.
Yeah, well, I could verify that, but we measured.
Here's the,
Big thing
I
with
have
the-
the,
Yeah, they're attached to the.
Yeah.
Yep, each of the three should be attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 4 separate shingle roofs
Okay.
is the detail.
Yeah, from the other side, yeah. And I mean, I know this guy, so I talk to him sometimes. He said steel's about twice as much. And that's standing seam. And for like a rib kind of look or type, it's probably somewhere in the middle of that, so.
you say anything about the durability of steel over there?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obvious.
Be done 50 years. or
Yeah.
Whatever, it'd be, I mean, it'd be.
Essentially, it's a lifetime project.
lifetime
Yeah,
product,
yeah. Is that something we would consider on that, or is that past that?
Just, I guess, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I think it's just a money issue, right?
Yeah.
I suppose the other real issue that would come up with that right now is that we didn't. It's enough dollars that we technically have to go out for rebid on a steel roof. Because
True.
nobody else bid it, so.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
On the. Did we ask for bids on gutters and downspouts and gutters and stuff like that, or is that? When he. Are those put into the other bids here?
Not on one I was part of.
I think that was something that just shows.
They just go in there, okay. And how much of the plywood needs to be replaced, I guess?
That is.
We don't know.
Question mark.
Uncertain until I can get they can get a good look at the condition from possibly.
Right, so we run into an issue, we can't find an attic access pallet.
Yeah, I remember that, so really, I guess my only question is with the numbers here, it's, we obviously gives the total replacement cost. Do we know we need that, I guess?
My understanding is if they don't have to do it, they just won't do it.
Okay. I guess that's my only concern is obviously the other two are spelling out, each sheet individually. And, but we don't really know that number, I guess, unless that was in the bid, I guess. You said that was attached, right?
Who were you with, Todd?
Oh, he is the guy I know. I worked with him on a few different projects.
Mm-hmm. And he was attached to who here?
He's the bottom one.
The bottom one. Yep,
Yeah, that
yep,
OE.
Sorry.
yep. And I guess, when we were up there, he just saw that there was the shingles that were kind of buckled.
Mhm.
And his only fear was that either there wasn't proper ventilation, or maybe he's actually seen where a wind event like we had would even kind of lift them up a little bit.
Mhm.
And maybe them seams aren't where they should be.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna replace something, it's kind of a good idea once you gotta start tearing off to just kind of follow through. Because it could be OSB, we don't know. I mean, unless you dig into it, which is a product that's not spectacular in my view, I guess.
We had insurance come out and look at that one building, one pond. Did they look at the other roofs when they were out here?
I cannot answer that question.
I'm just curious. I
I
mean,
have no idea. And there is on about every one of them.
there's a little damage there.
spots.
I'm just asking.
And there's no review from insurance anymore. That's a closed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that they can't come out and look again.
right.
I would think that they could. I don't know why they would.
Because when I kind of discussed it with him that he was done and whatever, he's like, really? He's like,
Did we sign off on it? Did we get a check from the insurance company?
Hmm.
Did we sign the paperwork?
I didn't sign any paperwork.
They said to send the insurance agent.
The adjuster.
The adjuster had me send the bids to him.
Because they might work with readjust their. So that would.
I would think if
that they're not closed.
Yeah, well, that's good because if that plywood is buckling or has somewhat come unattached.
Yeah.
Then that's obviously an event that we.
Yeah. So that was when Paige brought that up. My assumption was that if they're gonna let us work with the adjuster some more, that it's not closed.
Right, I hope it's not closed. I would take it over Johnny, have the adjuster come back up, just walk the other room real quick.
Right.
Because you can see that on on all of them.
It's my opinion.
No, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with numbers. I like his first number. That's you know what I mean? Obviously, I just, how many sheets of plywood are up there? You know what I mean? So that's my only question is how it compares to the other guys as far as the replacement costs and everything. But I, as somebody that put in plenty of bids, I know it puts in different ways. Yeah, it's not anything. It'd be curious to know what's up there and if we have a whole chunk of roof that's great and doesn't need replacement. It's $120 sheet at it pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Eclipse at 60,000 pretty easily. I'm split the cedar roof was it?
I was looking to see if one of these had it. That's what I was kind of thinking too. You could kind of divide it out, but I'm not.
I didn't see it on there.
I'm not seeing it. There it is.
$60,000 at 100, using the $120, that's 500 sheets of plywood. Works out to about 16,000 square feet.
So that's 1,600. 160 square, yeah. So that's 110. Wow.
Just roughly speaking, we'll just guesstimate that perhaps that 120 is about 60,000.
that's probably, I mean, also tearing them off, disposing of them,
Right.
you know, that's probably where you're, with the sheet now, I think it's about 40-50,000.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I don't think, honestly, I don't think any of them are, you know, even the 80 or the 120 are really out of line as far as the amount of work and cost that goes into it. I'm not questioning any of them, so. Questioning the name of the second group of shingles. Marquis.
It's a malarkey.
When we asking for down payment, anything or
Yeah, that's for nothing.
Which one was the one I was saying? Was
Ackerman, 50%?
Oh, OE, he said he works with a company that he pays so much into every year for different things. And he said one of them that he's being told, the construction guy, I don't know all this stuff, but he said they told him that he could finance to his customers and be covered.
And so 0%.
Well, he mentioned that. No, he said, I have to go talk to them more before I would verify and get some sort of paperwork on it. But I said, well, that could really help us as a school.
As far as budget.
As far as spreading it into possibly next budget cycle.
Mhm.
So anyway, like I said, that's a guy I know. So that's probably why.
We don't need gutters or downspouts. We don't have concerns about that at this time. I mean. So.
So if anybody has a feeling one way or the other, do we want to approve a bid?
So the two top ones are asking for 50% down.
Ackerman and Prime.
Correct. Through to the contracts, that's what they're looking for, so just. So you're looking for a motion, or what are you looking for?
Or we want to table it and get more information, whatever we want to do, I guess.
It'd probably be smarter to table at least to get the insurance information figured out first before anything gets to it. Not probably something they want answers on, and but without it can be.
We're not gonna start next month anyways on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're real time.
Yeah.
You're saying,
I
don't,
think
but
to be able to figure out what the insurance can do and all that kind of stuff, and maybe verify the square footage that we're working with there.
we'll get all the details and everything.
Yep.
Oh, make a motion to table for it, though. So we get more, table until we get more information from the insurance company on specifications.
And that might put us into a spot where we might have to have a rebid because of cost
of shingles.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Right, motion has been made and seconded to table the agenda item, so it will appear.
To like second it, sorry.
Yeah. So that will appear again on unfinished business next month. Second item was the review of the intercom system upgrade. Worse than roofing.
This is part of the safety mill levy, though, not the building fund. Just to clarify that part, Mr. Eller worked with both of the groups, and his recommendation would be to proceed with Marco.
That who we've had before in the past page.
Like I did it last time, it was a different one.
Okay.
Marco, we currently have our printers through.
He just said Darren just said he's got a really good relationship with the Marco people.
It's worth a lot.
Yeah, it's worth a lot.
Well, you're on the lower bid.
A reputable company, and obviously they're.
Motion to approve the Marco bid.
Second.
Lacy to the second.
All right, motion is made and seconded. Is there any more discussion or questions about the bids?
I guess not knowing much about it other than a little bit we discussed in they're apples to apples, right? I mean, we don't got.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go, nothing about it.
And if I remember right, this does not affect the clocks. It'll be just the intercoms.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, further discussion?
How much money, so this will come out of the safety mill, you said?
Right.
Well, we'd like to apart now or
I believe we have enough in that one to just
to take care of it, okay?
Yep.
Didn't know if we needed to
Right.
split it between the 2 years, let's just keep our.
We should be good with that one.
So they'll start on this once school's out, correct?
Right.
Like shortly after school's out, so we get it done.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, Darren works, he works really closely with them.
Right.
They'll start prepping for it.
I just don't we don't wanna get delayed and end up in August and we're trying to get this thing in and.
October.
I think
It's not working right.
Yeah.
they do all of the install, so it's not like, it's not additional work for Darren.
So it's not like Darren putting all
Right.
the cameras up that one.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
So shouldn't be any additional expenses on his side.
Right.
Good, thank you.
All right, further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson, Lovejoy,
Aye.
Birch,
Yes.
Olson,
Aye.
Stefas.
Aye.
All right, next item would be take action on the 26-27 certified contracts. They were due, was it last Friday or the Friday before?
Last Friday.
For those returning. How many? Were there any that didn't return, I guess, question?
Were there any that
Didn't return? Okay.
Oh, just one. Yeah.
I'll make the motion to accept the count.
There a second?
I'll second it.
All right, discussion?
So the one that didn't, we need to rehire or?
But it's already in motion.
Okay.
We're gonna get a couple solid applicants for something that most schools can't find, so.
So I got another question. On the extended days page, can you please remind me and refresh my memory on that, what that is again and why we did that?
So like some of them are counselors. And then like Mrs. Head with the director position, he comes in and helps with like the new hire PD and does the all staff training with the principals and the superintendent. Same with like Mrs. Todick. She would do like helping with the internships and job shadows over the summer. Miss Riendo does, they call it PDC but it's for Carl Perkins.
Yep.
Training at the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Smitty holds library days, and I know she does essentially an inventory after school is done to make sure everything's been returned.
Paige and I actually had extensive conversation today about the extended contracts with, not for the 26-27 school year, but moving forward, what it looks like. We visited about having, kind of documenting what they did for their extended days, so I can get a better gauge on if they're used accurately.
Yeah.
And then, like they're part of like their contract, so if we did decide to adjust them, they would need to go through the reduction in force process.
Right, we're already past the deadline for that.
That was today, yeah.
So.
Like they'd be entitled to them through like continuing
Correct, but
contracts.
I've never seen this laid out like this before, I guess is what kind of threw me for a loop.
Oh, with the.
So I think they're always like this.
So-
We didn't include like the positions. Cause the positions aren't listed on the contract. Cause if you approved a list and said Mrs. Bowman was gonna be a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
And for some reason, if she needed to go to level 1, let's say. It would kind of handcuff admin to make that position because the board approved her contract for kindergarten.
Now they're just an educator.
Because that's what their teaching contract does say. So it's an educator.
So an example, so take the extended days divided by what they're getting paid, right?
The 180. So you would take their contract amount
No, yeah, but they're,
and then divide it by the contract days
right, but they're extended days. is what I'm
and then
saying.
multiply by whatever their extended days are. That's how the amount is determined.
But I mean, I figured out by day, get paid by day, right? For the 20 days, so if there's $5,000 and they have 10 extended days, right? I'm just taking numbers, I'm just throwing numbers
Yeah.
in. So I divide that, what they're getting per day, right?
Yep.
Somebody's getting $333 a day. Unextended?
That's their daily rate.
Yes, if it's their daily rate based on their where they are on the salary schedule.
That's why we had some conversation today.
Yeah, we need to have some more conversations. I didn't realize this. Because what's it come out to be? What's our total extra day pay? Do we know? Extended
No.
day pay?
If we added them all together,
Yep,
I don't, yeah, I haven't done that one.
I'd like an answer on that, please.
Okay.
Because I'm afraid it's gonna be a lot of money. Oh, good. Not much we can do about it now anyway, so.
All right, is there any more discussion or questions?
I just think we need to have more discussion in the next
Oh, yeah.
budget negotiation meeting about this.
Yes, yep.
And it might not be bad to get the teachers union involved in this one too. Into the meeting, so we clarify, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah, but the first piece I want to do is to get the documentation.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
beneficial for Mr. Baser to know like what they are doing with their
Yeah.
extended days.
Right.
Like the
Well, absolutely.
teachers union doesn't really have anything to do with how many they're allocated. It's based on what the administrators
Right.
need
But we-
assistance on.
Right, I think once you figure this out, we want to be upfront with them too and.
Yeah,
have that
absolutely.
discussion, but.
Next time, next time the committee meets with.
We can do that, yeah.
Just discuss that. That's gonna be something
Yep.
to discuss during negotiation.
Yep.
All right,
We need a roll call vote on that one.
yep. I was gonna ask for one more. For any further Any further discussion? All right, roll call vote, please.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson, Lovejoy, Birch,
Yes.
Olson, Steppers.
Aye.
All right, second to last item would be going into executive session. So. Whenever you
do all your
I gotta
speech.
read this whole page basically, so. The next item on the agenda is superintendent contract negotiations. This item must be discussed in an executive session. The legal authority for closing this portion of the meeting is in North Dakota State Century Code listed under 44-04-19.1. The topic or purpose of this executive session is for superintendent contract negotiations. At this time, we will convene executive session. The executive session will be recorded and all members of the governing body are reminded to limit discussion during the executive session to the announced topic. Any collective decision, collective commitment, or other final action by the governing body must occur after it reconvenes in open meeting unless final action is specifically required by law to be taken during the executive session. The remaining agenda item then would be to take action on paying the general fund bills for the month of March. Went back
Last
to the previous meeting.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
I couldn't go without asking a question, Paige, sorry. The city of Fargo is after the
Nurse.
nurse.
Yep.
Okay.
The Fargo Cast
I
Public Health.
didn't know if it was for our flock cameras out here,
No, that's through the company. Flock is through Flock.
Okay.
Yep.
Will our Marco bill go up? Cameras?
The intercom
Intercom, I mean?
would be a one-time, like separate.
One time. The maintenance if we needed them to come out.
No maintenance that I could
Monthly
see.
maintenance.
Subscription or anything?
Right.
Okay.
Good question, Mike.
All right. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Chilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lovejoy,
Aye.
Merch,
Yes.
Olson,
Aye.
Stefas.
Hi.
Then we would need a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
Second.
Second.
Moving to adjourn.
Damn, no, I think I'm not ready to get out of here.
Do I have to run down there or can I walk?
You could walk.